So yeah, we've got some more bad news, I'm afraid, and it's to do with the visas this time, and also bad news for the smokers and the people that are on a Ryanair plane, and the painkillers that are getting banned all around Europe in over 40 countries, these painkillers. So yeah, we've got a lot of news to report on today, and it's not looking good. Keep on reporting on bad news, but soon I'm sure we'll have some good news to report on. So let's take a stroll along the Torrevieja promenade, and we'll go through all what's been going on in the news this week. So if it's your first time to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because we're going to be going all over Spain and we'll report on the news and be visiting lots of places. But yeah, we're going to start off with this visa that Pedro's announced. The Prime Minister of Spain says he wants to scrap this Spanish visa, the golden visa is known as, which will let you stay in Spain without being a resident, and you could have worked here and you could have bought a place worth over £500,000, and you could have invested in stocks and shares in Spain, and it would have given you residency as you've invested in the country. So this golden visa did benefit a lot of the rich, and a lot of the people in China and Russia and all these other countries are actually laundering a bit of money and buying property and losing it, and Sanchez has decided to put a stop to it, and he now wants to focus on bringing the housing for the people that actually live in Spain, rather than give the benefit for these people that come and get this golden visa. Sanchez was saying that 94 out of every 100 of these golden visas he was dishing out weren't actually linked to any kind of investment at all. I mean, the idea was to bring really investment into Spain and boost the housing, but it wasn't doing that at all. And he's decided yesterday that he's going to actually scrap this golden visa, which obviously only suited the rich people anyway. So there'll only be 2 visas left you can apply for. It will be the non-lucrative and the nomad visa. He just wants to now focus on the fundamental parts of the housing market, rather than give these golden visas out anymore. So that only leaves 2 visas if you're going to come into Spain. I mean, the golden visa did benefit some people, like I say, but it was mainly the rich who had plenty of money to splash around. But the other bit of news as well we got going on is the smokers, and yeah, as I mentioned before, they're banning smoking on a lot of the beaches in Spain, and every year they're adding to it. But now we had the health minister wants to ban smoking on the terraces again. He's trying to lobby to get all smoking banned on these restaurants and terraces and move it away. He says it's not a healthy culture, and the catering and the restaurants and all that, the hospitality, are up in arms over it. They're just going to say it's just going to kill them off completely. If they start banning all this smoking again on terraces, it'll just kill the business. And on top of that, the health minister also wants to increase the price of cigarettes as well. He wants to put the fags up. So yeah, eventually Spain won't come cheap in fags if they're going to start putting all the prices up again. It just seems to be everything's just bad news lately. They're just about time they dished up some good news for everyone. We got the Ryanair flight that come in the other day, and it had to make an emergency landing. It come in from England over, and it was heading towards Alicante airport, and had to do an emergency landing in Barcelona, all because a couple of chappies here opened a bottle of Desereno spirits, and it was a duty-free spirits they had with them, and they opened it on a plane, and the stewards went mad, and they decided to ditch the plane in Barcelona, which all the people on the plane were going absolutely bonkers. I can't believe this happened just for a case of opening a bottle of duty-free drink. And then when they got at Barcelona, the old police got there and escorted them all off, their luggage and hand luggage and everything. But they weren't really angry with the actual people that done this. They was more angry with the stewards and the air hostess and all that for actually causing most of the trouble. They could have just, you know, had a quiet word and sorted it out there and then. Instead of that, they delayed everyone's journey to Spain. We've got this drug, this painkiller that's being used in Spain, the no-lotil painkiller. It's been banned in over 40 countries, and Spain are still using this drug. And a lot of people are getting really ill, seriously ill about it as well. I was actually prescribed this drug, and I actually didn't feel too good after having it, and I ditched it. I started receiving pains and all sorts, and it wasn't till we googled it, we found out on the internet it's been banned in many countries. So what's happened is it's been linked now to many cases of people getting very, very seriously ill from taking this painkiller, and some have even died from it. Now they're questioning whether these drugs are going to be safe to continue to use, and yeah, it's all up in arms over this painkiller.
There used to be, and then there used to be another.
So yeah, Wednesday afternoon, Torrevieja, coming up to 1 o'clock, and it's busy. So we've got a British national that was arrested as well, coming into Alicante from Southend Airport. There was actually an international arrest warrant for him in America, and it's to do with copyright. It had over $30 million worth of money from copyright TV channels on his computer, and he's now been caught coming into Alicante. He's up in Madrid, and he's could potentially be doing up to 20 years in prison. Everyone gets caught in Spain, don't they? It used to be the land of escape for the crooks. There's no escape now in the world, not with all these international treaties going on. So I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but if you do come to Spain and you're going to live in Spain and you do all the paperwork and go through all the process, there's one thing a lot of people don't seem to do, and it's probably one of the first things you do need to do, and that is to get a will done. It's so important to get a will done, because the Spanish will is completely different to what the English will is. So what you have to do is go to a solicitor and arrange for them to draft up a will so it's equivalent to the English, because what's happened is, I've heard so many stories, people we know, that they lost their partner and the bank absolutely got frozen and they couldn't take any money at all from the bank. They couldn't even touch it. So it's so important to get a will done, so you don't get left in that situation. If unfortunately one of you is to die or whatever happens, you need to get that will sorted out, and it don't cost a lot. I mean, some people are charging silly money for it, but I know you can get it for around 200, 250 max. I mean, you get people go doing 400 or 500s, that's ridiculous. But yeah, important, get that will done, because you do need to get hold of your money if you lose one of your partners. So there was a big European kite tournament championship down in Los Alcaceres, and there's a chappie there who posed to be an employee, and he unfortunately was a bit of a crook, and he stole loads of equipment. So this equipment was like for this massive surfing tournament, and massive European, and he obviously posed, and it weren't cheap either. £450,000 worth of kite and surfing equipment. Yeah, we have actually got some nice blue skies out at last, and the air quality is a lot better, and yeah, the old clima's gone, the wind's died down, and the summer has officially arrived. Torrevieja is really an upcoming area now. There's so much investment going on in the area with this big complex they're building down the harbour, where they've got more bars, restaurants, and it's going to boost a lot to the area. They're cleaning it up a lot, and with its price for property in Torrevieja and the location, which is banging between two airports, Murcia and Alicante, you can get cheap flights to either of them with the low-cost airlines. Budget airlines get here as cheap as chips, don't cost nothing, and you could be here in 2.5 hours. Unlike Cyprus and all these other places, you know, 3 or 4 hours to get there. Cheap flights here, and Torrevieja is so cheap. And it's not just Torrevieja, you've got all the neighbouring places next to it as well. You've got the Lazinha, which is a very nice area, because you've got the big boulevard there, Lazinha Boulevard. You've got Playa Flamenca, Punta Prima. You can go further down the coast, up to Cabaroy, all the way up to Pilorada, Centevia, Murcia. So yeah, it's all along the coast, going the other way towards Alicante. You've got the Santa Polas and you've got the Guadamaras, all lovely areas. So this area in general is really nice, and all the prices are pretty reasonable. Mentioned so many times, you know, a lot of these bars you can get a wine for like €2, €2.50, and some places euro. And also the beer the same as well. And it's not like Benidorm, it's not rough and ready, it's all calm and relaxed, holiday people. And it's becoming very popular with all the Norwegians and the Scans because of the warm climate all year round, and the price of the alcohol, cheap as chips. I remember when you're looking at house prices in Spain, they can vary from one estate agent to another. You never pay what the asking price is, because you can knock off 10% before you start. And if you do commit to buying it, you have to put a deposit down. And if you pull out and change your mind, you will lose the deposit. And vice versa, if you're selling and someone wants to buy your house and they decide they don't want to buy it a month later, they have to forfeit the deposit they've lost. So yeah, pretty good way of doing it really. Like in England, you get a chain and 6 months later they pull out because someone's broken the chain, and all start again. Nah, they've got it all clued up here. You get messed about, you lose your money. Simple as that. There we go, we've got another entertainer on. Yeah, we've had a bit of good news. These Ugga Muggers I've mentioned before, they come up to you and ask for directions, and they give you a little cuddle, and before you know it, they've had your watch or your jewellery away. Well, they've arrested 4 of them, part of a family, Romanian family, down in Murcia, down in Pilorada. They've been caught, but they've been doing mugging all over Spain, and they've been moving around in different cars so they can't get detected. And eventually the police have caught up with them, and apparently they were very violent as well, where they was getting pushed away. One of them went into one of the houses and tried to proposition one of the old boys if he wanted sex from the lady, and when he refused, the other 2 men pushed their way in and attacked him and took his watch off him. But it's just not that. They've been doing loads and loads all over Spain, and eventually the number was up, and the Mugger Uggers have been caught at last. But no doubt they're not the only ones, because there's plenty going around, and they change cars. And when you're on holiday, you're oblivious to all this kind of thing, because the weather's great. You're out, you're not looking out for the pickpocketers and these kind of activities, but they're so smart and clever what they do. They'll just come up all genuine, and I'll just have a little chat with you and ask where so-and-so is. Thank you very much. A nice little loving cuddle, and bosh, they're gone. And so is your wallet and your watch or your necklace. There's so many reports. You hear spakes of it going on in this area, and then all of a sudden you hear it further down. So they are moving about all the time. It's their job. Soon, hopefully, we'll have some good news to report on. It just seems everything is fines and stopping things and clamping down. It's all disencouraging people to come to Spain. It should be the other way around. We should be encouraging people. I'm sure they're trying to do it for the better for most people, but it's just bad news, isn't it? I just can't wait to get some good news reported to you, and then keep reporting all this kind of bad news. So the golden visa's set to be gone, That only leaves the other 2 visas I was saying, and one of them lets you live in Spain, remotely working from outside in your own country, having to be self-employed or have the business set up outside in the country, but you wouldn't allow to work in the country with a nomad, but it will give you status. And then you've got the other one, the non-lucrative, which is quite popular. It's quite similar really to actually applying for your residency. You just got to have all the relevant stuff in place, the right amount of money, your insurance, health insurance, and plenty money, like I say, to live on without scrounging off the country. Self-sufficient. Bit of good news, the fair's back open again, which is over by the market, the Friday market, which is the water park just over the other side of Torrevieja. You got a massive water park, and down the side there you got the Fairground. As you know, it used to just be here, just by these sheds here, and they've moved because of this big project they're doing, and now it's over there, and it's not a bad little fair to be fair here. Yeah, that rhymes, doesn't it? Not a bad fair to be fair. It's a really good fair, and children love it and the adults love it, and all. It's a good old mixture. Got a couple of videos of the fair from when it was on last time. It was quite good actually. So that was a little walking tour of Torrevieja Promenade, Playa de Cura, and now we're up by the harbour. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember, if you can support me, buy me a coffee in the link below, because we're going to be travelling far beyond there, and we're going to go some really exciting places. So make sure you subscribe and let us know about these new visas. Is it going to affect you? Are you one of the richest ones that can afford a £500,000 place and over £1 million in stocks and shares?